5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Are you a fan of video games? Do you enjoy half-thought-out battle plans? Are you a fucking moron? Well, then you're in the right place. Grab a controller and watch your back because the team killing glitchtards have just entered the chat. Oh, that's right. The team killing glitchtards are here. And there's not a goddamn thing any of you can do about it. My name's Josh. I'm here today with good buddy Frank.
Yep.
Wow, sound fucking any less enthusiastic over there?
Well, we are talking about the worst gaming franchise in the history of gaming.
That is true. We are definitely talking about the shittiest franchise in the history of gaming. But before we get into that, and before you hear our thoughts on that, if you want to hear us talk about other things that aren't video game related, you can go to GameRageMagazine.com, where you can see our multitude of podcasts upon the entire Game Rage Magazine podcast network, with featuring shows such as All Gas No Trash, the music one, the Anime Syndicate, the anime one, Central Unintelligence podcast, the Geopolitics one. Man, these are like becoming Friends episodes now at this point. But anyways,
Wait, what?
yeah, you know, they used to call the Friends episodes like the one with this, or like the this one, or whatever, like is what they used to call the episodes.
I was more into Seinfeld as a kid, so
I never liked Seinfeld. But anyways, if you want to hear us talk about those things, you can listen to Game Rage Movies and TV.
you know what we can agree with?
What?
Frasier was good.
Yeah, Frasier was good. No one can disagree with that. But if you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us at Game Rage Magazine on Instagram and TikTok, and you can follow us on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag, because they didn't have enough letters for us to put out the whole thing. Otherwise, this would have been the same across the board, and it was too late. I already made the other two, so not changing it. But anyways, today we're going to talk about Mass Effect, and we're going to talk about our experiences with Mass Effect. Are we going to include Andromeda in this?
If you want.
I mean, yeah, I guess we can talk about it.
I'm the only one that beat it between the two of us.
I didn't finish it, but I played the majority of the game.
I beat it like 3 times. And that's the next thing on my Audible thing. I got to buy the book.
Oh, there's a book for it?
Yeah, because the sequel never came out, so they made a book to describe what happened to the Quarian arc.
Oh, okay. Because that was the one thing we never got an answer for.
Yeah.
Was because that was supposed to be in the next game, right?
Yeah.
So, but let's start with the OG trilogy, as they call it proper. Mass Effects 1, 2, and 3.
Mass Effect, okay. Mass Effect, amazing. Mass Effect, I liked it, but everybody hated the ending.
Yeah, I don't know what everybody was fucking mad about. The ending's the ending. I mean, just because you fucked up. Listen, I fucked up and made horrible choices throughout this entire gaming franchise.
But that's the thing. Like, no matter what choices you made, the ending was the same. I think that's where people were having their whole... Because Mass Effect was a game of choices.
Yeah.
And they made it seem like every choice had a repercussion and a repercussion, yeah, whether it be good or bad. And we saw that going from Mass Effect 1 to 2. And even in 3, we saw from the effects from 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Going into 3, I mean. But I think people were expecting like 30 endings to base off
and there wasn't. There was
every question. There was 3 endings, and they all ended the same with the Normandy crash landing on our planet.
Right, and Shepard's dead. Well, kind of.
Oh, well, that was the thing. They did do an update, and they did give it a better ending.
Yeah,
because apparently it was rushed, which makes a total lot of sense considering that EA had to grub little fingers on it.
Yeah, true. Oh, sorry. I thought you had more to say.
No, I was just saying.
Anyways, but let's start off with Mass Effect 1. And I just want to bring up the Wikipedia page real quick, because I want to make sure I'm correct on my
I'm here. I will know if you're correct
and everything.
Or not.
No, I'm talking about the dates and stuff, because I don't. So
before you say that shit,
yeah,
I played Mass Effect day 1 when it came out.
Day one.
It was a gift because I love space. I love spaceships. I love spaceships, and I love spaceships.
Yeah.
So when I saw the commercial for it, it looked sick. I was like, yep, I'm all about that life. And somebody got it. I think it was my sister bought it for me. Because what year did it come out?
It came out November 20th, 2007.
Yeah, and 7 day.
Yeah.
Not obviously not in 7 day, but it had to be November.
In 7, yeah.
November 20th. What year?
2007.
Yeah, we had just graduated high school.
Yeah, it was the year after we graduated high school.
And fuck world.
Yeah, for real.
So I remember I got it and instantly fucking fell in love with it. And I say that now, but I hate to say this, but it's in my opinion, it's probably the weakest of the 3 games.
Yeah, it probably is. But again, that was the first.
It was the pioneer.
Yeah, it was the pilot essentially for the real deal.
And like I said, yeah, I saw this fucking trailer, thought it would look fucking sick, and then it was being made by BioWare. You mean the guys who made Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah. Oh, even fucking better.
And so, yeah, I bet it. I fucking played it, and oh my god, did I fucking love that game. I had beaten it twice, I believe, and it was not even on your fucking radar.
Never heard of it. Never. I was like, the fuck is this? You were telling me about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that seems pretty all right.
And you were working on Hollywood Video or Blockbuster or whatever.
Yeah, it was at the time, and I was like, oh, that seems pretty all right. Maybe I should like check it out. And
I get prodding, dude. Fucking because I think Mass Effect 2 was about to come out and I was trying.
No, I wasn't that deep into it because I played it on the 360. Like I think I played it in 2008. I think that was when I got it.
When did 2 come out?
2 came out in. Wait, where's the Mass Effect 2? That came out in 2010.
2010. All right.
So I think
because the trailer probably came out for it. Because I'm sure, because back then that's when EA was actually respectable. E3 was respectable.
Yeah,
respectable, true. And this is when
it was probably like 2000. Maybe it was 2008, 2009.
Because I think I saw the trailer, and that's when I started pushing you harder.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, there's a second one. All right, well, fuck. I guess I gotta fucking get this. So I said, well, let me play this before the second one comes out. Because I think you showed me the trailer for the second one, and I was like, oh, that looks tight as fuck. Mm-hmm. God, we're old. I just said tight as fuck. But that's what I said back then. I said that.
Dude, mom made us SpaghettiOs for dinner. Tight.
Which doesn't make any sense as to why that was a word.
Nothing from the 90s made sense.
Yeah, I guess not. But anyways.
Was it fucking a B-boy?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking just fucking chilling.
Yeah. So.
Or was it that Budweiser commercial that became a fucking phenomenon?
Oh.
What's that?
So I get it. I get Mass Effect 1 and I played it and man, I was fucking blown away. Like I mean, no offense to Mass Effect 2 or 3, but Mass Effect 1 was a deep RPG. It was a deep, and listen, this is why I waited so long to play it. It took so much prodding because back at that time, I hated deep RPGs. I was a first-person shooter, real-time strategy. That was my wheelhouse, right? And I really didn't like playing anything else.
To be fair, that attitude is what got me into Halo because I had never played it. You're the one that got me into Halo.
Right, yeah, exactly. And so...
Which is funny, too, because Halo falls under the same curse for Mass Effect as in... The first one's probably the weakest of the franchise.
Yeah, true.
But in Halo's aspect, not by much.
Right, yeah.
And in both aspects, the second game is probably the best one.
Yeah, true. It probably, realistically, it probably is.
And we're probably the ones that think the third was probably the best one.
Yeah,
in
true.
both franchises.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Mass Effect 3 was definitely, I felt like, was the best one. Along with Halo 3.
Halo 3.
Shit, stay tuned because we're going to do a whole deep episode on a Halo because, man, that is a franchise near and dear to us. But anyways, we're not talking about Halo today. We're talking about Mass Effect. So
now, if I can... Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
continue.
no, so I was going to say, I played the game and was blown away. And like I said, I hate RPGs. The only RPGs I had played up until this point was both of the KOTOR games. Loved them. If it didn't have Star Wars on it, I probably wouldn't have played.
Which is probably why you didn't like Jade Empire.
I did not like Jade Empire. It was basically the same fucking system, but I don't know. It
was Star the same Wars, system as KOTOR 1.
Yeah, and Star Wars just gets me fucking all willy nillys in my weenie area.
Well, to be fair, this was at the time was an era of Star Wars that had not been touched.
That's true, and that's probably another reason why I fucking played it and obviously loved it, but. Those were basically the only deep RPGs, and I played. I don't know if Fallout 3 was already out yet at this time, but that was another one. And again,
I won't call that one a deep RPG,
but it was RPG-esque.
No, it was an RPG.
It wasn't super deep like these are, but
let's be honest. If you had a 10 strength, you're still probably going to be shooting.
Yeah, basically. So anyway, I went with the soldier. I built my guy. I made him fucking look like me. He even had the fucked up face like I do. Fucking. I even had the same ginger fucking hair, And I said, all right, I'm going to play this fucking game. And little did I know that guy I made in 2008 or 9 or whenever it was that I initially played, that guy would carry me through all the way until fucking 2012 through the whole fucking franchise. Like, I'd be playing this through the entire I'd be playing the same guy, right? Like, who would have thought? And each time, the guy looking a little bit fucking better, even though he's fuck ugly because I model him after me. Still, I'm like, damn, it's just progressively looking better, obviously, as the new graphics and shit come out. And I mean, all 3 of these games we played on the Xbox 360 initially at first. But Mass Effect 1, like I said, I was fucking blown away at the level of customization of what you can do. And again, remember, what part of the reason why I loved it?
That's one thing I kind of missed from Mass Effect 1 is the skill tree.
Yeah.
Because all those skills you had outside effects as well.
Right.
So like the higher your charisma was, the better you were at talking people down. Yeah, that stayed throughout the games.
Yeah.
But then you had other things like Commando, which was just soldier.
Yeah.
But if you leveled it up all the way, you can evolve it into Commando, all this shit.
Yeah.
Which, went to Mass Effect 2, but just it didn't feel the same way.
Yeah, it didn't feel the same.
Like you had 40 skills you can upgrade. And then in Mass Effect 2, you had 4 or 5 or 6.
Something like
and
that.
then they brought a little bit back in Mass Effect 3 where you had that whole lineup again. But yeah, that's probably why we like Mass Effect 3 better.
Right, yeah. But I mean, again, it was a game that I could play the way I wanted to. I didn't have to play it as a fucking guy who used biotics and fucking what, because I hated that system. I hated biotics. I didn't use a single I played 3 fucking games and used no biotics. All right. I was a fucking straight soldier shooter all the way through. And I played that game like a third-person shooter. That's basically how I played it, like Gears of War, essentially. Which, man, we should do a Gears of War episode fucking too.
We still have to finish Gears of War.
Oh, that's true, because we haven't finished, 6? 5?
5, 6, and that one that we started.
No, I think it's just 5.
It
The
was
one we
5?
started was the Judgment
Yeah,
one.
Judgment
with,
one.
about Baird.
Yeah.
And we never finished it. But luckily, they're all in the Game Pass. So, I mean, we could spend... You know what? That's what we're going to do. When Katie goes to Wasteland this year, we're going to finish Gears 5 and the Judgment one. And then we're going to do the Gears episode. Because I think Gears 6 is getting ready. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. But bottom line, I played that game like a third-person fucking shooter, man. And I loved it. It was great. Mass Effect 1, the story was fucking compelling. I'm a prick, so I play...
Like an asshole?
I play the game how I would... I take it seriously. When I have a game that gives me choices, I don't know, maybe people don't like this, but like I would play it as if I'm basically playing it in real life.
Again, that's the thing, again, I hate about... That's one thing I hate about RPGs is the type of people who min-max. Which is a term to like get... You're going to play a specific play style. So your stats have to... You have to minimize the ones that aren't going to help you and maximize the ones that are.
Yeah.
And to do that, you also need to get your Paragon and Renegade
In a certain area, yeah.
in a certain area. So if you want to be a Renegade, it's got to be full Renegade. You want to be Paragon, it's got to be full Paragon so you get them. Because in I don't know if it's in Mass Effect because I was the same way. I played mostly as soldier.
Yeah.
In KOTOR, if you had a differentiation between light side powers and dark side powers. So you had force powers that were on the light side, you had force powers on the dark side, and you had force powers which is universal.
Right.
Now, if you were a light side user who used force lightning,
Yeah.
what was that?
Some assholes outside.
If you were a light user using force lightning, it drained a lot more of your force power.
Right, yeah.
But if you were a dark side user, it drained almost nothing.
Yeah, true.
So there was consequences to all that. So like, hey, if you're gonna use the force lightning a lot, you need to be dark side. And so
Right.
that's where that whole concept of min-maxing comes in.
Yeah.
And so my whole idea is like, because you see it in Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that too. My idea is like, that's bullshit. I play the way I want to play.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't like min-maxers.
Yeah, I don't really like that style either. I just like playing it how I would play it in like, real life. And so I'm also a piece of shit though. So I end up somewhere closer to the renegade side on some of the things. But then again, like if I came across a situation where, there's an innocent person that's being fucked by this guy, well, I'm just going to kill this other guy and then they can get away. The innocent person can get away, right? But that's technically like a renegade action, even though you saved him. So I would screw myself and end up being renegade most of the time. Mm-hmm. But this game also gave you a large opportunity to commit, genocides and fucking. I mean, you could have assisted and helped with genocide too, because the whole thing with the Krogans in 3.
Yeah.
Man. I don't know. There's fucking people like yelling outside. But man, the thing with the Krogans and the genophage and like all that shit, that choice was in your hands. Mm-hmm. To fuck them or to fuck them or to let them fuck, right? That was the choice. And it's crazy.
It's like that JonTron when he did a review of some fucking horror game. And he goes into the garage and there's a car there. And you can click on it to, hey, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And she goes, no, but the others. And he goes back to JonTron. He's like, fuck him. And then he edits it.
So, but yeah, Mass Effect 1, back to that one specifically. I mean, that ending where fucking, what's his name? Your rival, Saren or whatever.
I still think he was the best villain out of the 3.
I do think so too. I think that was the most.
How did you take care? Did you kill him?
Oh, I killed him. I killed the fuck out of him.
I went full I always go full Paragon. And I convinced him to regain his honor. He always kills himself.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I took the choice out of his hands and made sure he died by my hand, essentially.
Well, either way, he dies by my hand because he gets revived by the Reapers and becomes that little.
Oh yeah, that's right. In the other one, he did get revived.
No, in this game,
that's right, because there's the DLC, right?
No, there's no DLC. This is the final boss.
Yeah, that's right.
You fight Saren in his base form, and then when you kill him,
he evolves.
He turns into the Reapers take control over him through the cybernetics that they installed in him.
That's right.
And he turns into like a Geth stalker.
Yeah,
he's just jumping around and shit.
Yeah, now I remember.
But which is weird because the Geth stalker was a cool Geth thing.
Yeah,
but it was never brought back.
Yeah, true. So when we get into Mass Effect.
We'll go into Mass Effect 2 a little bit later.
Yeah,
but
keep going on this one
because I'm currently on a replay through with Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Because I'm replaying the Legendary Edition that came out.
Yeah. It came with all the DLCs, right?
It came with everything, yeah. And little shit that they added too.
Oh, okay.
Which I fucking love this. Because I love when companies do this. There's a bug in Mass Effect 1 when you're talking to this character called Loki Quinn. He's on Novaria. And it's when you're trying to get a pass to go to the hot labs where Benezia is, whatever. The Liara's mom.
Yeah.
And he tells you, hey, I'll give you my path if you go into my building because the corrupt Forcia or whatever you call the guy that's in charge of all of them.
Yeah.
He's raiding it because I have evidence that he's corrupt. He goes, you go up there and get my evidence. I'll give you my pass. And he's like, okay, cool, bet. I go over there. Oh, that was cringe. He goes up there and he so yeah, you do the mission, you kill the guards, and then the people he has in there, they're in there illegally because the guards were taking, obviously he was paying them under the table,
right? So
that because when he asks you, hey, but you do know that a bunch of their guards are going to be there and you can choose the Paragon option. Oh, I'm sure I can work something out with them. Or you can choose the Renegade option. Well, if they're getting paid on the table, that makes them mercenaries. I can kill mercenaries.
Yeah.
And so you kill them. You gain the thing. That's when you find out that the secretary is actually working with their version of ISD or whatever. Or Internal Affairs. Or
right, yeah, whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah. I say ISB because that's from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit. So she's telling you, hey, I need that evidence. But on top of that, I need you to convince Loki, whatever his name is, to testify. So you have to try to convince him. Now, how it works is on the dialogue tree, if you're high enough Paragon or high enough Renegade,
yeah.
you get Renegade and Paragon options to use in dialogue to try to like your fucking your choices.
Yeah.
So if your Paragon's pretty high and your charisma stats pretty high, those two combine and give you a boost. That's why you always want to choose those options.
Yeah.
So you have those Paragon and Renegade options. And you say, in this case, I chose Paragon. It gives you plus 18 Paragon if you succeed.
Oh, okay.
So, to increase your Paragon stat.
Yeah.
Then you talk to him again after he agrees, mention something else, like something about the matriarch Benezia, and then you can repeat that again.
And just keep like spamming it?
And spamming it until you fill up your Paragon or your Renegade. Or
damn.
both.
Yeah.
So that was a glitch in the first game in Mass Effect 1 when it first came out. So the Legendary recently came out where they redid everything. They didn't change that bug.
Oh,
it's
that's
still
cool.
in there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love when game companies do that. Like,
yeah, they just leave it as is. It's like, nah, you know what? We never fixed it. We're gonna not fix it now. We're gonna let you guys do
that, or they forgot about it.
That's true. Probably more than likely.
Like it's like the whole thing with the Witcher 3. There's a scene where you can have where you get a dialogue option with your romance partner, or I don't know who it is, but where you have a sex scene with them.
Yeah,
and it's like one of the hottest chicks in the game. And there's a bug where if you deny her and continue on with the mission or whatever, the game crashes or something happens. This game made it to full production, and nobody knew about that because no game tester was saying no. Because who was going to deny themselves that sex scene? It wasn't until it came out and people were going for every achievement, choosing every fucking, because it's like Mass Effect where you have multiple options, obviously.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the game released that they're where players like, I hate to do it, but I gotta see. I gotta see what else is out there, and then the game crashes, and that's when fucking.
Damn, that's funny.
What's it called? CD
Project Red, or
CD Project Red, I think so. And that's when they fucking fixed it. But I thought that was funny that the game testers never even did it, and he was able to make it a full production.
That's pretty funny. For Mass Effect 1, they also gave us a couple of DLCs. You had the Bring Down the Sky, which was essentially
Asteroid X-57.
Yeah, where you have to basically explore it with the Mako and fucking stop it from hitting.
Yeah, because a bunch of Batarian. There's also the introduction of the Batarians in Mass. Because when we went to Mass Effect 2, I was just a broke kid, so I never even bought any DLC for it.
Yeah.
Hell, there was DLC for KOTOR 1 that we never bought.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Let's check that.
Batarians.
Yeah, so this is the first introduction of the Batarians. Another alien species that fought humanity and lost.
Yeah.
So to get revenge against humanity, they take over this asteroid because it's part of a mining project. They get these asteroids. They have a shit ton of fucking resources like, tungsten, iridium, shit like that.
Yeah.
And they put strategic thrusters on it for it to get closer to the planet, and then once it gets closer, they turn them off and let it get caught in the gravitational pull, and then they can start mining it because it's just there now.
Right.
So the Batarians were just not gonna slow it down and let it hit the planet and kill them.
Right.
So your mission in this one is to stop them, which whatever. It was actually probably one of my favorite missions in Mass Effect 1.
Yeah.
The other DLC, Pinnacle Station, I did not like.
Yeah, because it was just training missions basically. It was like multiplayer, but you were playing the computer.
Yeah,
it was like capture the flag, like to team deathmatch, and it was like some other fucking.
Modes. And like the end goal was to get the top score, and the commander says, "You know what? I'm never gonna retire, so you can have my house."
Yeah,
I'm like, "Whoop de fucking do."
Whoop de fucking do. What's funny is I didn't even realize this, but it wasn't included in the Legendary Edition.
Yeah, because
I knew why. I knew why. Well, I knew it wasn't included, but I didn't know why.
Why?
It's because they lost the source code.
That's fucking hilarious.
It just disappeared, and they were like, "Well, we don't have it, so fuck it, we can't put it in."
They could have just grabbed it from one of the old copies or something.
I think that it's just deleted. Like whatever source code that they had, like the source.
Because I remember when they first announced it, they said that it was going to take up to that. They didn't see it relevance because of in Mass Effect 3's DLC for the Citadel has the exact same thing as a part of it. So they said that there was no point.
Well, no, that wasn't the real reason. It was because they lost the fucking code and they were just like, let's just fucking make some bullshit up and then go from there. But I thought that was pretty funny.
That's funny. Well, maybe that's why they never patched that fucking thing, because they lost the source code for that too.
Yeah, could have been. So now we talk about Mass Effect 2.
Well, let me.
Oh, you want to finish back on 1? Okay.
Because there's a lot of shit that happens in Mass Effect 1. Like,
Yeah.
well, there's obviously the choice between Caden and Ashley.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I chose Ashley.
Everyone chose Ashley.
Yeah.
I chose Caden a lot. I've started choosing Caden a lot because, like, I didn't notice it as much as I was a little kid because I was like, yeah, I want to fuck the human girl, not the alien chick.
True.
And then as I got older, like, this bitch is fucking racist, dude. Like, it wasn't like a little racist. It was like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah. In Mass Effect 3, she's basically like Space Hitler. Like,
No, she got better.
I don't know, man.
She got better. Because so there was a time in my life where I was unable to work. And I had to take care of my dad. So that meant I had no money coming in. All I had were the games I already owned.
Right, yeah.
Which were Mass Effects.
Yeah.
I literally will spend hours a day. When I'm not helping my dad, I was literally just replaying Mass Effect 1, carrying him over to 2, carrying him over to 3. I beat 3 again. Literally, as soon as the credits ended, I started another playthrough on Mass Effect 1. That was all I did was that and take care of my dad.
Yeah.
So I have very intimate knowledge of this game. This game is very near and dear to me.
Oh, yeah.
What were we talking about before this?
You were going to go more into Mass Effect story of the first game.
So I've played.
You're talking about Caden and Ashley.
Yeah. So I played a lot of this game. I've chosen almost everything.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing. Like, even I'm currently replaying it, and I found some things I didn't know about.
Oh, yeah?
So I was like, I'm still finding new things about this. Like, I don't know if this was from the beginning or this is something they added for the Legendary Edition.
Oh, okay.
But so I'm like, yeah, I'm finding new things. Cool. And so I've played a lot of it with Ashley. And I've done it with romancing her, and I've done it without romancing her. And I've enjoyed the non-romancing her parts way more. Like, the story was way richer and less Hitlery. But Caden kind of gave you the because he becomes a gay option for the male shepherd.
Yeah.
And which is what I played. So I try to stay away from that romance option of him. And he comes to me and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, after you finally settle the score with him in Mass Effect 3 and he realizes that he's just holding on to a stupid old grudge.
Yeah.
He becomes like a big time bro. Like,
right. Yeah.
I don't know. And to me, that felt like a richer storyline than they actually either the romance or friendship one.
Yeah.
Right now I'm trying, because I never tried this, so I'm trying it now with this playthrough where I'm romancing her in Mass Effect 1, but choosing her to die.
Oh.
It's just to see if that does anything.
Oh, yeah. That might.
Yeah. And I say, yeah, you have a choice between to save Caden or to save Ashley.
Right.
Because you have to choose one of them to go defend the bomb and another one to stay with the STG, the Solarian Special Forces, essentially.
Yeah.
And then, to me, that choice never made sense. Because if you send Ashley, let's say in this sense, I sent Ashley with the Solarian STG group, and I sent Caden to defend the bomb. While Caden is arming the bomb, you get a call with radio to Ashley, hey, we're pinned down, we're losing Solarians like crazy, we need help. And so you're like, and he tells you, hey, it's gonna take me a minute to arm the bomb, go help him. So you go and run over there, and then as you're halfway over there to her, a ship comes by. You see a guest ship going to where the bomb is. Because they're building a clone arm, not a clone. They're was it clones of Krogan soldiers?
Yeah,
but they were, as a reward for loyalty, they were curing them of the genophage.
Yeah.
Which was the disease that they gave them.
Couldn't allow them to breed.
So it was like, instead of one-on-one breeding, it's like 1 in 1,000. It's a success. That's the worst part. It's not that you don't impregnate them; they get pregnant, but only 1 in 1,000 survive birth.
Survives, yeah.
So that's even worse than sterilization.
It is, and then it was just to keep their numbers down because of the.
We'll get into that.
Taking over the world.
Yeah, I'll get to that right now.
Galaxy, basically, or whatever.
Because I'll get to that right now because I want to break down each character.
Yeah. All right.
So you get that message, and so you have to choose: do I still go save Ashley, or do I go help Caden? Now they simplified it in that sense, But now let's take a step back and look at this as a military situation.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to go into Halo. What does Chief Petty Officer Mendes tell Master Chief about being a leader? As a leader, you will order people to their death. You will order people to die. That is your job as a leader. But it is your responsibility to ensure those lives are used and not wasted. The STG agents were sent there to be a distraction. So Ashley and them were just distracted so you guys can invade the thing and blow it up, the Krogan facility.
Right.
So taking a step back, do you save your squad that was only meant to be a distraction, or do you save the guy who's arming the bomb to blow up the base, which was the whole point of this mission?
Right.
Taking a step back, what are you picking?
We got to save the guy with the bomb.
Right.
That's the whole point of the mission.
So in the game, he arms it so it goes off no matter what.
Yeah.
So then now what does that change your options?
Well, now you can go save the other ones because, well, whatever. The bomb's going to go off. Mission will be completed regardless.
So you'll save her and the STG agents.
You get both. Yeah.
Where you're just going to save him because if he's down, that means the guards you put around him are dead too.
Right.
But he guaranteed the bomb's going off.
Yeah.
So here's the funny part. When you're doing the whole Krogan, when you're invading the mission, the home base, there's little things you can do. Like you can destroy a antenna array to disrupt their communications to help the STG agents. You can destroy the drones at the refueling the station, which is going to help them out. You can disable the alarm so it can help them out. If you do that, the more and more of the Solarians are going to survive.
Right.
If you choose to go over there and help them, you save Ashley and you save them, whatever. That makes sense. If you choose to save the guy with the bomb, those agents are still going to show up on your ship. You still save them.
Oh, man.
So what the fuck happened to Ashley or whoever you sent there? That they were able to retreat and get there, but they couldn't. So that tells me they could have gone away.
Yeah.
So again, that's not bad storytelling, just bad environmental storytelling.
Yeah.
So whatever. In my idea is like the bomb, even if he says. So in my case, I chose Caden obviously to arm the bomb and Ashley to be with the agents.
Right.
In my head, I'm thinking, you know what? No matter what happens, this base no longer needs to exist.
Right.
He said he armed the bomb, but these are Geth. Who's to say they can't disarm it?
That's true.
Or fucking yeet it out of there or some shit.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, no, the bomb's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I always choose Ashley to go to the agents. But it's just one thing that just bugs me that even if I choose not to save her in the Solarians, the Solarians still are saved in my ship. And I'm like, it
doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense. But whatever. Caden's alive, or Ashley, whoever you choose.
Yeah.
And so that's the big choice between those two.
Right.
And now going on to the other characters. Fucking probably one of the best characters in video games. We get Rex, the Krogan.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the Krogan, the best way I can describe them is organic tanks.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're fucking huge.
Massive.
Mass Effect-y. Krogans are brutish. They're like if you play D&D, they're the definition of a barbarian class.
Right, yeah.
But they're fucking headstrong. Literally, their way of showing disrespect or handshake or greet each other, to show disrespect to each other, is to headbutt each other.
Yeah.
So I guess it's the way you headbutt.
Right.
They're angry, they're aggressive, but like Rex, he's different. Not that he's the nice guy or anything like that. It's just that he understands society now. He understands why the Krogan fucked up. He doesn't agree with the genophage, but he still thinks it's a horrible thing. Nobody agrees that it's a good thing except for Solarians. But he understands that the Krogan fucked up.
Yeah.
But the Solarians fucked up first. Because the Krogan were not ready to be uplifted.
Right, true.
But the Solarians had no choice because they needed somebody to fight the Rachni. Because the Rachni were kicking their ass. And so they uplifted the Krogan. The Krogan kicked the Rachni's ass.
True.
And they're like, hey, so we want more planets. We want to do more of this. We can't give you that. We already took them. Well, you got to give them back. Or what?
That is true.
What?
Or what?
You're gonna kill us like you killed the Rachni?
True.
Nah, fuck. All right, we're just gonna sterilize it. Wait, what?
Wait, what? Yeah.
So they give them the genophage, which causes, again, you can still get the females can still get pregnant, but only 1 in 1,000 infants survive.
Live, yeah.
And I can't imagine that kind of. Can you imagine being a mother and being like,
oh man, that level of fucking upness, like that's terrible.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's Rex's story, and like you go through this whole mission with him, and like he's like that grizzled veteran. I don't know if we've met the types through RGC and stuff, but he's that type of veteran that's like, I fought through war, and now I'm a mercenary. I don't want to be a mercenary, but war is all I know. Yeah. But he obviously has a great leadership mind because as we see later on in the game.
Right.
And I don't know, the more you play with him, he's one of my favorite characters in the game.
Yeah.
And I don't know, what do you think of him?
Oh, he's definitely one of my favorite characters. I like his whole like his problem solving is basically I'm just gonna run headfirst into something and see what happens. That's how I roll. Mm-hmm. So I always take Rex. I took Rex with me every mission, every fucking game, every time I took it. He was my go. He was the number one.
That's one thing I liked in Mass Effect 1 is when they gave you the character sheet to pick your squad. Mm-hmm. So for me, I was full soldier. Yeah. So if you look at the thing, it gave you 3 options: tech, biotic, and combat. Yeah. If being a full soldier, you ought because you're in the squad, your combat skills at 50%. Yeah. Just by having you there. Then Rex gave you combat skill and biotics, a little bit of biotics. Yeah. So for me, I always chose to even things out. So not even things out. I'm in the same boat where I thought biotics were cool trash. Looking, but trash. But kind of trash in Mass Effect 1. Yeah. So I always went with tech because it can hack things, they can destroy things for me, they can do everything. Yeah. So I always went for a 50. I went with Garrus because he gave you a little bit of combat skill. Oh, he gave you a good chunk of combat skill and a little bit of tech skill. Yeah. And then with Tally because she gave you a shit ton of tech skill. So even them both out. And I never had a problem in that fucking game because of that loadout. Oh yeah, true. But anyway, so going on from Rex, let's go on to Garrus. Yeah. The Turian. He is literally my favorite fucking non-romanceable partner character. Yeah. He is the bro that stuck with you through Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3. Yeah. And if the games would have allowed it, he probably would have gone to Andromeda. Yeah. So, sorry. Garrus is the Turian. The Turians were the first alien that the humans had contact after they found the Citadel, Mass Effect, the mass relays. And being they're the closest human-like aliens, hey, that's a new species. All right, cool. Let's go talk to them. Other side, humans, hey, is that a new alien species?
Oh, let's kill it.
Let's go talk to let's go interact with them. Cool. Turians, cool.
Yeah, kill them.
Just, nope. That's why it was called the First Contact War. Yeah. As soon as they had first contact, open fire. So you meet him first because he was the CSEC officer, which is the police force for the Citadel, which is the galactic center, the galactic hub of the entire, for lack of a better term, Federation. Yeah. And he was in charge with doing his investigation, the Citadel's investigation of Saren, because they had evidence that he was dirty, and they told him, hey, confirm or deny it now. Yeah. And he wasn't able to get enough evidence. He was trying to convince the guy, hey, give me more time. And the guy's like, nah, he's a Spectre. We're just going to let it slide. Yeah. And so that's how you first meet Garrus. And then, again, like he starts off Mass Effect 1 as the naive cop who's just coming off the naive. Can you say naivety?
Naivete? Yeah.
Where he's trying to tell Garrett. He starts to tell you, hey, you know, the council kind of protected Saren from you for a bit. Who's to say they won't protect him again once you bring him in?
Oh, that's yeah.
Like I don't think you should give them the chance to protect them.
True.
And it's like being Paragon. I told him, hey man, like if he doesn't want to surrender and he gives me no options, yeah, we'll put that bullet in his head. But I'm gonna give him the chance to surrender.
Yeah.
That's the Paragon option I chose.
Okay.
The renegade option, he goes, yeah, that was my plan from the get go, bitch.
Yeah.
He goes, look, this bullet has his name on it already. But it's cool. Like you see him, like you can mold him into what he becomes in Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah. Garrus is one of the. I mean, he's one of the only guys that's obviously in Mass Effect 2. You do this mission at the end where everybody.
We'll get to that. Right? Yeah.
Garrus is one of the guys that lived. All right. I had Garrus all 3 games. It was like him and Rex.
Mm-hmm. Well, Rex isn't in the other games.
Well, yeah, but like a little, and then I had some fucking Liara in there too. Like that was my.
She was in 3, but she wasn't. She was in 2. She was in 2 through the DLC for the Shadow Broker.
Yeah. Because then, that's a cool storyline too.
That's a really good. Mass Effect 2 had the best DLCs.
Oh yeah, the best DLCs. And it's because they were all pivotal to the storyline of 3, basically. If you really think about it.
Yeah, they all added. They didn't subtract. Pinnacle Station subtracted from Mass Effect for me.
Yeah. That was stupid.
X-57 was a great DLC. That asteroid, Bringing Down the Sky. I liked it 100%. That was a great mission, great DLC, and it introduced the Batarians.
The Barbarian
Batarians. But at the end of the day, wasn't needed.
True.
I mean, the way they portrayed it and stuff like that, because the asteroid didn't play into it.
That's true. Yeah.
That guy who escaped was in it for like 2 seconds in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
And so it played very little into the storyline. But Mass Effect 2, we had the Shadow Broker mission, which huge implications into 3.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
It was that one. Then there was the Arrival, which was where they were
huge. Okay,
it was
huge.
the whole Reaper invasion.
It was literally the beginning of Mass Effect 3.
Yeah. There was Overlord.
Okay, that one fucked me up, dude. That was so fucked up.
And then they had the Kasumi Stolen Memory.
Yeah, that was those DLCs are characters.
Yeah, and then you got Zaid's loyalty mission. But
that should have been it.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, okay, but going back to the characters, Garrus, he's one of my diehards. Like, he's a ride or die fucking asshole or partner.
True story.
Now let's get to the second ride or die character, Tali.
Oh yeah, Tali.
She's also in Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3, if she survives.
Yeah.
Now, I'm also a little biased because she's also my favorite romance option. But she's that young, naive character who's, again, she knows how to survive. She's gone through some shit, but she's still on the beginning end of her pilgrimage.
Yeah.
And she's just, in the first game, she's an innocent I must protect at all costs. In the second and third game, I need to stay out of her way.
Yeah. Basically.
I don't know. She has that charm where, like I said, she's someone that you instantly care about and you want to protect.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I always liked that little charm that she had. Oh no, this and yeah, I'm sorry. It's just that I'm not used to things this way. But in combat, I will destroy you.
Yeah.
Who's the other one? Ashley, which is I think it was your favorite.
That's my I romanced her in every well, not in 2 because she wasn't really in that one, but I romanced her. She was my go-to for sure. I think I fucked Liara, or no, who did I fuck in the second?
Miranda,
that's right. Yeah, I fucked Miranda in the second one.
Cause that ass,
man. You can't say no to that ass.
That was one thing that there was a scene in Mass Effect 3 where you're talking through her through the hologram.
Yeah.
And in the original, we know for what reason, the camera just shows you in the background, and in the foreground it's just Miranda's ass.
Yeah.
They got rid of that in the legendary.
Oh man.
Who else? Oh, Liara. She's the Asari biotic, and Asaris are fucking cool. They're a species of nothing but females, who are the most advanced because they were the first to discover the Citadel. They were the first to discover a bunch of protein artifacts, which were the precursors.
Yeah.
And it's funny, everyone starts off, Garrus, Tali, Liara start off as these naive characters, but turn into fucking badasses at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And like, there's a scene where in Mass Effect 3 that kind of hit me hard, where you're talking to Jack.
Oh, yeah.
And like, because she's in charge of these biotic students, because she's training them. And when you first meet her in 2, she's a psychopathic killer.
Yeah.
Like, you could have a 2-second conversation with her and she'll bang you.
Oh, yeah.
But then after that, she won't ever
Never
respect
touch you again. Yeah. So there, yeah.
So she's like, seriously, in the original thing, all she wore was pants and her tattoos.
Yeah, that was it.
And like a harness, like just covered up the nipples.
Yeah.
And like, to see her go from that to a dependable teacher who would risk her life to save her children, to save the children under her care.
Yeah.
Like, she joins the Alliance to teach these kids and shit. And you're having a conversation with her in the bar, and she's still doing like status reports for the students, even though she's on vacation.
Yeah.
Or shore leave.
Right.
And you're talking with her, and she goes, "Man, this fucking Ramirez isn't doing this right. This. But if anybody touched him, I'll fucking kill them." And he's like, "Oh yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. Just stick with it." Like, he tells her, just stick with it, because there's no greater feelings than watching somebody under your command grow into their own.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, fuck you, Shepard." I don't know. I just thought, I was like, yeah, because you build these characters into what they become. And it's
yeah, exactly.
I guess that's all the characters for Mass Effect 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you choose. So there's a scene in Vermeer where you find out that the Krogans are being cured in exchange for them to working for Saren.
Right.
And Rex is like, "What are you talking about? We can't destroy this place. It's the cure to my people's sickness." And like, so you have to have a conversation with Rex.
Right.
And you have to try to convince him to stand down.
Yeah.
But if you don't, Ashley shoots him. And kills him.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
If you don't convince him to stand down.
Yeah.
And luckily, because I'm always full Paragon by the time, because my first time I played it through, I didn't know that this was a consequence episode or mission.
Yeah.
So luckily, I skidded by my teeth.
Damn.
And ever since then, Vermeer is always the last mission I do.
Yeah.
So I make sure I'm full Paragon and everything.
Right.
And so yeah, that's your first chance to lose a squad member. Your second chance is obviously Ashley or Caden, and that is a fixed point that has to happen.
Yeah.
And he always shows Ashley, right?
Oh yeah.
And always shows Caden.
Yeah, every single time.
Except for the one time I romanced her, and then one time I'm glad I did it too. Is if you romance her in Mass Effect 1, and then you take her to the guest ship in Mass Effect 3 with Tali, and you've been romancing Tali from 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Oh, the sass. Because there's a scene where you start talking dirty with Tali.
Yeah.
And your companion like always makes a funny quib. So you do that, and you do that dirty talk, and like this. Oh no, this is before that. When you get on before you go onto the Get Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Tally's like, "Oh, I'm always a pleasure to have you here," and like whatever. Like, they start flirting.
Yeah.
And Ashley's like, like, this is if you romance her.
Right. Yeah.
If you don't romance her, it's a different dialogue.
Oh, okay.
But she's like, and he goes, "Oh, I didn't see you there, Lieutenant Commander Williams."
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Lieutenant Commander Williams. He goes, I didn't see you there. I didn't expect you to actually be. He goes, I forgot what the line was where she makes fun of her for not being in Mass Effect 2, basically.
Yeah.
Saying like, "Oh, fuck no, I had it in my head right now. I can't believe I lost it. Oh, you actually showed up," or some shit like that. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh shit, Kitten's got claws."
Damn.
Because I would never expect Tali to win enough argument with her, but it's like, hey, you had him. now he upgraded.
Yeah.
But if you don't romance, actually, it's a more of a like, oh, sorry, like more of an embarrassment kind of moment.
Yeah.
So again, that's one of the cool things about Mass Effect is how simple choices can change dialogues and
change the outcome of
like
almost
me.
the
I
whole
remember
game.
me and you would talk about it so much. Like when we used to go out to sushi, we used to talk about like it was as if we played two different games.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's basically like we didn't even play the same game. With the vast disparity in the choices that we made throughout these games, like it was two completely different experiences, and that's one of the things that this series in general has really, I don't know, hit home, I guess, on is the fact that I'm glad these new fucking cables are coming in soon so that I fucking not have to keep these shitty
these
cables.
are the OG ones when we first started podcasting like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I know. So I'm surprised that they lasted this long, but whatever, is what it is. So time to get new ones because that's why we keep having the mic drop issue. But anyways, or at least I think that's what it is. So we basically played two different games, and every person that I've ever talked to that's played Mass Effect also had a vastly different experience. And what's fucking funny with us, we played as like that first game, we played both as like soldiers. We kind of played the game similar. Now you veered more into the biotics, I think, later on.
Well, I never used biotics, but I started because my favorite power is concussive shot.
Yeah.
And there's a combo where if a biotic person uses lift and floats them, and you use a concussive shot when they're floating, it does times 3 damage.
Oh, okay.
And I would upgrade my concussive shot to be the heavy one, so it had way more force. So it's fucking hilarious to be floating. You just see my little, and it'll just fucking fly off screen.
So even though we've basically played the game exactly the same in terms of like our gameplay style, we had two completely different gaming experiences, and that's what's so cool about every choice. And there's so many choices to make. And it's almost like real life. We could play the same overarching storyline, but everything be completely different just because of one simple choice that I made at the beginning that you didn't, or you did that I didn't. And now our paths veered completely off from each other. And now we're playing total different things.
It's the whole multiverse theory.
Yeah.
Where like in one universe, if I flip a coin right now,
right,
let's just say it lands tails. I just created another universe that landed heads.
Right, yeah.
So essentially that's what's going on with us is like it's similar universes but different because slight changes the variations.
Wouldn't that have been a fucking sweet way if they made like another game after like a real legit sequel that was like not like Andromeda but like, you know, like a
Mass Effect 4 is coming out.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But like what if that's like a thing how they say, hey, this is like it's a multiverse. So all the experiences that everyone had,
they're canon.
It's all canon. Every single choice was canon because everyone at some point made that choice. And so everything that happens is canon. So there is no
definitive universe
because that's the one thing that always pissed me off is people want to say, oh no, the way I played it is the way it's supposed to be played.
There's no true, even in Mass Effect 3 with its limited choices, there was no true ending.
No, it wasn't. There was no true ending. And so I think that was a great way to fucking do a game. And again, at this juncture, Mass Effect was pretty fucking revolutionary, I feel like, in taking the deep RPG to a completely another level that we've never seen before at this point.
I wouldn't call 2 and 3 a deep RPG.
No, yeah, I wouldn't call them that either because they scaled back a lot of that RPG element
and brought in more of the third-person shooter aspect.
They brought in more of that, and then they heavily leaned into all the choices and made sure that the choices you made were going to not only just impact, because again, a lot of the choices you made in 1 affected 2, right? And then I feel like more choices that you made in 2 affected truly how you were going to be able to play 3.
At the same time, though, there were choices for Mass Effect 1 that also affected 3.
Right. So that was revolutionary in my opinion.
It's funny. To me, the first time I've ever dealt with the dialogue tree, ever dealt with consequence choices, and ever dealt with that kind of RPG system was Knights of the Republic, which was BioWare, who made KOTOR 1, and then they made the Mass Effect series.
Yeah. But to me, this took it to the next level. It took it to something that took a concept that was kind of done before, but made an original story about it too. They took this system, the baby version of it, I guess, or the prototype version of it.
What was the precursors to this? I want to say Bio something. It wasn't BioShock.
No, yeah, it wasn't BioShock.
Biohazard, like the first game BioWare made.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, to be honest.
Let's see, what is it? First
BioWare. Microsoft Game Studios now. BioWare. Man, Shattered Steel, Baldur's Gate.
The first Boulder, they made the first Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, they made the first fucking Baldur's Gate. It says that they were keenly interested in computerized and pen and paper variants of RPGs. Their next development was determined to be a role-playing game, and they announced exploratory development. They presented a demo called Battleground Infinity. It suggested a gameplay engine that would be well-suited to Dungeons & Dragons license that it had gotten from Strategic Simulations. It was reworked. That game was reworked with the Dungeons & Dragons rule set.
Yeah, they did a lot of shit for Dungeons & Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, Baldur's Gate
1 and 2.
Yeah, and they did the Icewind Dale series. They did fucking Tales of the Sword Coast.
The Neverwinter games?
Yeah, the Neverwinter games. Obviously, KOTOR, Jade Empire.
But it looks like the very first one was Shattered Steel.
Yeah, that was like a mech game.
And then it was followed by Baldur's Gate.
And then obviously they made Dragon Age.
Oh yeah, I forgot they made Dragon Age. That's a problem though, because they're also making this Dragon Gate, the fourth one, I believe. And Mass Effect 4 right now.
Oh, at the same time?
Yeah, so that's what I'm worried about.
Dang. So
because Dragon's Quest 3, I believe. What was it called? Sorry.
I think it was just Origins.
No, what was the game called again?
Dragon Age?
Dragon Age, sorry.
Yeah.
Dragon Age, I think the third one.
Oh, yeah.
Was a success.
Mm-hmm.
Mass Effect Andromeda was not.
Yeah.
So I'm worried that they're going to put more focus on.
Oh, man, dude. I forgot that they made Anthem too, man. God,
I remember. I just didn't want to mention it.
Listen, I love that fucking game.
It was fun, but they abandoned it quick.
They did, because I think that
there was one time when I logged in, like in April, just to see where the game was, and the Christmas decorations were still up.
That hurts me so bad, because that game, that could have been better. That was better than Destiny. Anthem was a better fucking concept than Destiny, and I fucking wish they would have stuck with it, because now that Destiny's done, maybe they'll bring it back now that Destiny's basically on its.
No, because they're working on Marathon. Oh no, that's Destiny. Never mind.
But they're doing Marathon. It's not going to be a Destiny sequel.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe BioWare will make.
There's this guy. I think my name is Biff. He does Destiny lore stuff.
Okay.
And he released a video called "The Complete Lore of Destiny."
All right.
This was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like a 2-hour long video. And then he released the new one this year or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And that was like almost 10 and a half hours.
Jesus. That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's no way we could get caught up on fucking Destiny shit, man. Like, there's just no way.
Bungie betrayed Microsoft, Xbox players, and it's hard.
Ever since then, we've just been like, fuck that.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. So we've been going for like an hour, and we barely got Mass Effect 1.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking that this is going to become at least a 2 episode.
The second one, yeah.
I think we can do. I think we should cut it off here. This is a good cutting off point, and then I think we should do 2 and 3 and see if we can do maybe both of those, because I want to give them, like, I think Mass Effect deserves the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it deserves the time, because the story is so deep and it's so rich.
I mean, we barely touched the story.
We got into it, but we kind of got the gist across, right?
Yeah, we just got the gist. We didn't get into details.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, that's where I think for Mass Effect 2, we can get into, for the next episode, we can, you know what? It's funny the way we named it, Mass Effect, whatever. We can name the next one Mass Effect 2, whatever we're going to name it. And then the next one, if we take a third one, we'll just call it Mass Effect 3. And then we can probably, get into that. Because, there's so many things to discuss about this whole franchise in general. And I want to give it the time it deserves. So I think we're going to fucking cut it off here, and we're going to go ahead and do a second episode
Sometime in the future.
sometime next. Well, probably in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a second episode out for you guys, because this is a series you and I both love this fucking series, and you know,
And the other two franchises we want to talk about, we also do love. So
right.
that's gonna be.
And again, Halo and Assassin's Creed is probably also going to be multi-part episodes too.
Funny thing, you got me into Halo. I got you into Mass Effect and Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, true. Because I remember I first played the first Assassin's Creed game. Well, we'll talk about it when we do the Assassin's Creed episodes. That's something to stay fucking looking forward to. But anyways, yeah, if you like our shit, you can go to GameRageMagazine.com and see all the other stuff we have. You can follow us at Game Rage Magazine on Instagram and TikTok, and you can follow us on at Game Rage Mag at Twitter/X. And if you want to fucking drop us a comment, drop us a DM, drop us a whatever. If you want to fucking argue with us and tell us how Mass Effect is this or Mass Effect is that, or
If you don't like Mass Effect, well,
I mean,
you can be as wrong as you want to be. We're just gonna tell you you're wrong.
I mean, listen, don't be surprised if you get shredded in the comments by us. But, you know, hey, whatever. It is what it is. So, anyways, thank you guys for listening. It's been a blast. Stay tuned for the future episodes regarding the continuation of the Mass Effect series. And we will catch you guys on the next one.
Congratulations, you survived another episode of the Team Killing Glitchtards. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. Also, subscribe on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag.